Hey guys, welcome to chessroads.com. This was a live game played between Krasenkow and sandipan chanda in Vladimir Petrov Memorial Tournament 2013. Okay, here white is Krasenkow and black is sandipan chanda. White played knight f3. Okay, let me turn the board for you. Sandipan chanda won this game by d5, d4, knight f6, c4, c6, queen b3. This queen b3 line, we don't often see this line playing in the top level. D into c4, queen into c4, bishop g4, knight bd2, e6. Here Krasenkow played e4. I think this e4 is mistake. Because it's straightly coming that e4 is under attack, and if he takes bishop into f3, for example, if you take bishop into f3, I have to take with g into f3 and knight d7. Now the idea of e5 and c5 both cannot be stopped. If white plays a move like f4 on drops to play and prevents to play e5, he will simply break with c5. So bishop into f3, g into f3, knight d7, that was played in the game. f4 preventing e5, so c5, d into c5, bishop into c5, knight b3, rook c8. Simply black simply gives double bishop, but in this position I feel it's okay because of the bad pawn structure and king is still in the center. So knight into c5, knight into c5, bishop e3 and castle shot. After bishop into c5, b6, rook d1, queen e8, b4, b into c5, b5. In this position he cannot play a move like b5, b into c5. For example, b into c5 create a new variation. Queen c6 threatening e4 and c5, loses one of this pawn, and if you give e4 pawn, your king will be very bad, and these pawns, all the remaining pawns are pawn islands. So if you give queen into c5, black can simply play the end game by entering the rooks and trying to make it on double. And f4 and f2, a2, h2, all the pawns are very weak. So here he simply played b5, preventing queen c6 also, and he can create a passed pawn like a4, a5, maybe rook b1, b6. So knight h5. Now knight h5 is very good. The only source to open up for black. Simply attacking the f4, and he can come queen e7, queen h4, and he can challenge this rook to d8. So there is multiple ideas of knight h5, and this knight on h5 cannot be attacked so easily. So e5, supporting the f4 pawn, queen e7. If you place bishop e2, you can play queen h4, supporting this knight, and also he can play rook f1, h4, preventing queen h4, and queen b7, attacking the rook on a1, rook h3, rook fd8, now you cannot play more like bishop e2, because black will immediately play queen g2, attacking this rook. And if you play rook d3, he will simply capture rook into d3, and he will give queen g1 check or queen h1 check and queen into h4, supporting the knight on h5. Rook h d3, rook into d3, rook into d3. Now white is simply threatening bishop e2, so g6. Now they creating the knight retreating square, and also he can play knight f5 later. f3. Now he can develop his bishop. There is no checks on h1, or there is no queen g2. Here he played queen e7. Now the idea of queen into h4 check. So f5, supporting this with queen, and e into f5, rook e3, f4. Now again rook is under attack and this pawn is under attack. Rook e4. Here Chanda played rook d8. He could have grabbed this pawn and play, but he wants to activate his rook on d8 instead of grabbing this pawn. This pawn anyhow he can take it at any time. Bishop d3, knight g3, rook into f4, rook into d3. Interesting. Queen into d3, rook into f5. Simply going for an endgame where black will have lots of pawns after queen a1 check. So in move 32, now I think black is clearly advantage. Queen into a2, all the pawns are going. Queen e8. Now white is just trying for a draw. There is not much the move left for a draw. Then king g8, king g5, queen c6, queen e7, king g7, e5, and queen e6. Okay, this was a very good game played by Sandipan Chanda. Let us see the next game in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this game. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave comments.